Are you tired of dying to a bunch of bullshit like these ghosts? Tired of running out of mana at the worst possible moment? 'Cause fuck these guys. Tired of running from these little Stygian fucks that explode all over you and are unfair as shit 'cause you can barely see them? Are you sick of the grind of rolling bad CTA after bad CTA after bad CTA? Worry no longer, because have I got a build for you. It's unkillable, unfuckwithable, and it doesn't need mana to do shit. Make those little Stygian whores fear you, instead of you having to run from them. Never roll another CTA again, 'cause barbarians do that shit for free. Introducing the BarBEARian. Get it? 'Cause it's a barbarian, 'cause he's a bear. It's a barbarian that turns into a bear. That's the build. It's just a barbarian that turns into a bear. Alright, so let's talk about the BarBEARian. BarBEARian. He's a bear. He's a bear. Alright, so let's go over the gear. So, on his swap, we've got Spirit. We've got Beast. On his main damaging setup, we've got Grief. We've got Dream. Then for his armor and stuff, we have Wolf Howl with a 7% faster hit recovery and 40% ED Jewel. We've got High Lord's Wrath. We have Fortitude. Gore Riders. Ravenfrost. String of Ears. Bolcathos' Wedding Band. And Dracula's Grasp. This basic setup, you can also use Storm Shield instead of Dream for a more budget setup. You can use Metal Grid instead of High Lord's Wrath. You can use Thunder God's Vigor instead of String of Ears, or you could also use Dungos. If I was going to use Dungos, I'd want to get a better roll. This one's kind of shit, but such is life. As far as the stats go, basically we need just enough in order to wield all of our stuff, and then pump the rest into vitality. Let's see the skill tree. So the skill tree is really simple because we're not using any abilities other than pre-combat abilities. So we just put in a sword mastery because we're using Grief and a phase blade. We put one in to increase stamina just to get to the increased speed so we can walk faster because we can't teleport while in bear form. Iron Skin, and then as many as you need in natural resistance to reach your resist cap if you need it. If you don't need it, you can always put more into, I don't know, I guess you could do like find item and stuff, because you can't do any of this. None of this can work when you're a bar. So, yeah. Basically, the only thing you get are combat masteries and war cries. You can't dual wield because it bugs. So it's really only necessary to put points into the mastery of whatever your Grief is in. If you can't get a Grief, you could use a black. You could use just a high damage unique like lightsaber. Something like that would work really well. Yeah, so basically we want all our points in a battle orders, battle command, and then whichever mastery, whichever type of weapon you're going with, increase speed, and then natural resistance and Iron Skin as needed. Let's go over charms. Now, as far as charms go, so to hit, we get 7% FHR here and 30% FHR here, and then with a 12% FHR and 5% FHR, we hit 57%, which is the 6 frame recovery, I believe, breakpoint. And then for the rest of the, obviously we want a torch. Annihilus isn't necessary, but it's nice. It helps with resists, and the all skills are good for both the bear form and the war cries and all that stuff. And then all the rest of our charms are just going to be max damage, life. I have this just to cap off a few resistances, and then I think I have, yeah, this. I still need, my charms aren't 100% yet. I'm still, like, the build's only 87, so it's still climbing. It's still, you know, good small charms with attack rating and life are expensive. So, yeah, my charms aren't, like, the greatest. I just basically have, you know, max damage, attack rating, life, as much as I can get. I really need to replace this one too. But yeah, that's basically the build. Let's go to some gameplay footage. So, before you start, you swap to your beast and your spirit, and then you're going to do all your shouts, and then transform into a bear. And then you run at stuff. Rah! And basically you just auto attack. And that's it. That's the build. But it's nigh unkillable. It does good damage. The clear speed's decent. It's not the best in the world. Single target's a little slow right now. I think I need to get more AR, which is really just investing in more small charms and maybe switching over to Metal Grid eventually once I have enough small charms to really hit that next, not breakpoint, but plateau, if you will, for AR in terms of bosses. But it works out fine. I mean, he's so tanky. Like, this is a perfect hardcore build. I mean, I can just, yeah, I can go get some coffee. You know, maybe check how the weather's looking outside. Feed my cats. You know, and then come back to the computer and be like, oh yeah, I forgot I was playing Diablo. Ah, death. So yeah, that's pretty much the build. There's nothing tricksy about it. There's no fancy, like, oh, this is, you know, what you need to think about when you're doing your skill order. And nope, just it's not terrible, Joel. Just yeah, just thwack stuff with your bear paw, because you're a big mad bear, and don't take no shit from nobody, because you're unkillable. And yeah, I mean, that's basically the barbarian. See, look, he's got a little disco party around him from Dream, and nobody can hurt him. Like, oh, my life's, it's kind of going down. Oh, it's going down a little bit. Oh no, I'm in danger. I'm in danger. Danger, stranger, danger. Yeah, I really wish I had more to, like, say about the build, but that, I mean, that's kind of it, I think. Oh! I'm dumb. I forgot to go over my mercenary gear. Let's go over that. So mercenary, you can do this one of two ways, right? Like, you could either go with Act 2 mercenary, have a Reaper's Toll with amp damage, which would be really good, and might. I like... That's not the right button. I like the Act 1 mercenary for the Faith Rune word, which gives the Fanaticism aura. The higher you can get the roll, the better, obviously. It adds attack speed, it adds AR, both of which are things we need. It actually does scale up my attack speed when in bear form, which is super useful. That's one of the only ways to really get more attack speed, other than just on weapon attack speed. So, yeah. I just have her with Vamp Gaze. I need to socket this. Chains of Honor, and Faith. I legit just had an extra Chains of Honor lying around because I was using it on my Druid build. Anyway, you don't need to know all that stuff, but I had an extra Chains of Honor, so I just threw it on her instead of making another Fortitude or stealing a Fortitude from one of my other characters, because I'm a hoarder and I keep all of my characters geared all the time because I am weird. And that's why it takes me like a month and a half to save up currency to make a build. So yeah, Vamp Gaze, Faith, and Chains of Honor. If I was to have an Act 2 Mercenary, I would go with Andy's Fortitude and Reaper's Toll, or Tomb Reaver. Yeah, this is a simple build. Compared to my last one, which was the Kicks-In, which had like a bunch of, oh, you gotta hit these breakpoints and you gotta hit these levels, and I mean, obviously the higher skill levels the better. For the higher BO, you know, we're at 7.4k life right now. We're at level 87, so that's only gonna keep climbing. I think I can hit 8k life on this. I am gonna be able to level it to 99, no friggin' problem, because it don't die. It just doesn't die. I think the one time it died, I fully lagged out in the middle of Wave 5 on Baal, and Lister was Fizz immune, and I was like, I was attack locked on him, and I should have been clicking the other guys, but I was like lagged out, so I couldn't really see what was happening. That's the only time I've died on this build since I got it up and running. It is insanely tanky. Like, you have to try to die with this build, legit. It don't take damage. He don't feel no pain. He's a big boy. He's a scary boy. And yeah. Of course, now I took damage because I transformed, but yeah, like, nothing's going to kill you. The most you'll have to deal with is your mercenary dying every once in a while, and pretty much that only happens to the frickin' Hydras from the frickin' Council. And we all know that that's an annoying ass thing that has been happening forever. I feel like I'm just stretching this video out because I really don't know what else to talk about with the build. If you feel like there's anything I forgot, let me know in the comments. Yeah, don't bother liking and subscribing unless you want to. Go out and hug someone you care about instead, because that's what life's really all about, right? Anyway, I hope you have a good day and enjoyed Yogi the BarBEARian. And if you find use for it, you know, by all means, go ahead and play it. It's a lot of fun. It's super tanky, and it's silly, and it makes me happy. Okay, bye!